Oh, in this video, we're going to continue looking at making graphs and plots in Excel. And for this one, we're going to look at a box plot. Now, Excel does have a built-in box plot feature. However, it's not the greatest, but let's take a look at it quick. So here I've generated a random set of data with 80 entries in it. And we can go to the Insert tab here, and we can go over to our data plots. So this one, insert a statistics chart. You notice you have the histogram, which we showed you in the last video, doesn't work the greatest. Then there's the dot plot, or box plot, I should say, the box and whisker plot. So we open that up and we get a plot that looks like this. And this is actually relatively accurate, and it is live updated. If one of these numbers changes, the plot will change for it. For example, if I go down here and let's say I put in a 79, which is way bigger than most of the data, you can see it adjusts the plot, and it actually does put in the outlier correctly here. But let's see just how precise this dot plot is. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sort my data. So it's smallest to largest, so I can see it, so smallest to largest. Still, that 79 that we put in is way larger than any of the other numbers. Now we're going to find some of the information that we need here. The first thing we need, of course, is the smallest number. I'm just going to type in A1 to A80 so I don't have to retype that. And we need the largest number. So our smallest number is 13, largest number is 79. We're going to want our median. So the median for our data set is 32. If we look here, that looks exactly where it is on our box plot. Let's do our first quartile. So in Excel, you type in quartile, open the parentheses. The array here again is A1 through A80. And the quartile we want here is the first one. So the first quartile will be 26. And again, that matches up with what our box plot is showing. So quartile, third quartile gives us 37. And again, that seems to match up with what our box plot shows there. Let's do our interquartile range, which is just Q3 minus Q1. And we'll do our 1.5 times our interquartile range. Remember, this is the distance to the fence, which is going to be 16.5. So our lower limit there we go. Lower limit is going to equal the first quartile minus that distance. 9.5, there's nothing below 9.5. Our upper limit is going to equal our third quartile plus that distance, which is 53.5. There's definitely numbers above 53.5. Specifically, the 79. 53 itself is right on the edge. 79 is way out there. And you can see this is cut off. The 53 is shown as the end of our whisker. The 79 is put out there as an outlier. Now, let's say we didn't like this. So this chart is accurate. I mean, you can change the title and do whatever with it. So it is a very accurate chart. If we wanted to do a comparative box plot, I'll show you that in just a couple minutes. But let's say you didn't like this chart. You wanted to do a horizontal box plot, kind of like what we've seen in the book. We can always take Excel and we can use it as a spacer like this. We need to go from a minimum of 13 up to a maximum of 79. I'm probably going to have to make these a little smaller yet even. So we'll just start numbering at 13, 14, there's 79. It's a little smaller so it fits on the screen. And then we can use our insert and draw tool. So insert shape. I can actually do an axis above them like this. I know that my first quartile is 26 to 37, so that's going to be the box of this plot from 26 to 37. So I start out over 26, I go to over 37, there's my box. Change my fill there to clear. I have a median at 32, so at 32, I put in my median. There it is, over 32. And I draw a whisker out to my minimum of 13. And I know that I only go to 53 for the other whisker because I have an outlier. So I'll take that up to 53 and put a dot out at 79 for that outlier out there. And there we've created a box and whisker plot just using the draw tools. And of course you can use the snipping tool. You encapsulate that, and then you can paste it right into a Word document or whatever you're working in. So that is one way that you can create it without you, if you prefer the horizontal orientation, which statistically the horizontal orientation is considered better, but Excel only does the vertical orientation. Now let's say we wanted to do a comparative box plot. So what I'm going to do, oops, I don't want that. We're going to put in another data set here. And we'll get it also to 80 items in it. And so now I'm going to highlight both of these. I'm going to go to Insert. And you can see I get two. Each column ends up giving me a box plot. So this is a comparative plot. Both plots are on the same axis. I can see that the one in the bluish color here has one outlier way above, but in general, the orange one has, the median is higher, the quartiles are both a little higher. Except for the outlier, that one is, the orange one has higher values and a little bit more spread. So these are the box plots, the important box plots, the comparative box plot and the standard box plot in Excel. Or again, if you prefer, you can use those draw tools to create the horizontal orientation like this. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you in our regularly scheduled classes.